I'm going on a year with my in-garage golf simulator. It has been awesome. I've lowered my handicap from 11 down to 7.5. Now that's a lot of hard work with that. It's not just magic, right? But this has been a big component in improving my ball striking and getting that handicap down. In my build series, I showed you step by excruciating step how I built this myself and put this unit together for a very affordable price. And the screen is holding up great. Everything's holding up really well, like the SkyTrak unit, but there are a few little tweaks I would make if I were to build it over, and I'm going to show you those now. The first thing is the turf on the rubber mats. The setup works extremely well. During my initial install, I used double-sided carpet tape to hold the turf to the rubber mats, and that didn't work so good. I had to clear this entire unit out to do a coating of the floor, which worked fairly well. That tape didn't hold that well, so I was able to roll the carpet off, move the mats out easily. That was part of the problem though, that turf was not sticking very well to the double-sided tape. So what I found works better is to just use some small 3/4 inch long wood screws and just screw that carpet right down to that rubber mat. This easily goes into the rubber mat, holds it nicely. You can pull them out if you ever need to, take the turf off, and you're not dealing with that tape that doesn't really hold that well. So that install was easier than tape. The screws are cheaper than tape, and they don't look bad either if you take your time and lay them out properly. And they hold better than the tape for sure. You can get them wet, take them out, put them back in, non-issue there. So that's definitely one thing I'd recommend on that turf to hold it to the mat. Just get yourself some short wood screws and screw it out. First thing is the impact screen. You can notice there is some noticeable impact kind of wrinkling there. But that goes away if you roll it up or smooth it up by your hand. That's kind of where the last ball hit. But otherwise, there's not really a memory to this thing. It's holding up pretty good. And the stitching and the weight bar in the bottom, initially I had some problems with that cutting through. And you can see it started a little bit there again. I'm using a very heavy weight bar because my clearance to the back is about 18 inches, and that prevents the screen or any balls from hitting the wall behind it. But you could probably get away with a PVC pipe and it would be less susceptible to that breaking through. But otherwise, even I went with unfinished edges here. There's no change to those unfinished edges at all. The curtain setup with the pipe support has been perfect. No complaints there at all. They are doing very well. I would not change a thing there. My chain drive crank mechanism to raise and lower the screen has also been perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. Very low cost, effective option. Very quick to raise and get the screen out of the way. Take back part of your garage. I used rubber stall mats on the concrete floor with a AstroTurf over it. It does a pretty good job at deadening the ball once it comes off the screen. It could be better. More of a foam material instead of rubber would probably soften that a little bit better, and it would be lighter and easier to move around. So if I did it from scratch again, next time I'd probably use foam interlocking tiles under this instead of the heavy rubber mats. I went with a 3-foot by 5-foot Country Club Elite mat, hitting mat, and so far I'm very happy with it. You can hit it quite hard. It's not hard on the wrists. It isn't a perfect replication of real turf, but it's pretty darn good, and I'm happy with it. And the wear and tear is very minimal. I rotate it once in a while, but there's not too much of a memory to this, even though I've used it quite a bit. You can see there's no obvious signs of wear and tear where I've been hitting it. It looks quite good yet. Now the SkyTrak unit, as I said, the data I'm getting from it is very reliable and accurate. I'm able to take it out to the course with great success. The only negative, there's some negatives about it. One, it has to sit to the side of your ball. So you're hitting here, it projects the laser where you put the ball. And so the hitting area you're restricted to is pretty tight. To move the wear and tear around on the mat, or for different people, you gotta, move the position of the unit here. I've got it just on a separate piece of turf to make it at the same level as my hitting mat. And then depending on if you're hitting driver and you want it up in your stance versus an iron and you want it more in the middle, you kind of got to jockey things around. My setup, I allowed for that. You can see I didn't fix the hitting mat in place at all. That's part of the reason for that, just to allow some flexibility around the SkyTrak unit. Some of the other units sit behind you, and as long as the ball is somewhat in front of that, you're good to go. That would be nice. But anyway, just one of the things you need to think about if you're going to go with the SkyTrak unit. Then of course we have our top trow projector that I tucked up between the garage doors. The image quality is great, reliability, I've had no issues with it, but it could be a little bit brighter, and I'll show you that right now. It is a nice sunny day. I've got both garage doors open, and that means with the projector on, you can barely see anything. I'm gonna close the doors. We'll see what it looks like as that goes on, you'll see. Like magic, now we've got our screen. It's not pitch black in here, it's still relatively light. During winter times where I've got the garage heat on and close the doors, it's a non-issue because it's just not that much light getting in. It would be nice in summer to be able to have the doors open and see better. You still can see enough to see the results of your shot, but it isn't a pleasant experience, I would say. So definitely a higher brightness rating projector will give you a better, brighter image. It's not enough of an inconvenience for me to spend more money on a projector. I'm definitely not going to replace this one, so I'm going to choose just to live with it. But if that's something important to you, you might want to rethink your decision on the projector. Overall, the experience of having a golf simulator in my garage has been great. The first 12 months, really beneficial. I like it, my kids like it, and it's helped my golf game. And even if I only have a couple minutes to hit a few balls, I'm waiting for the family to get in the car, I can come hit 5 balls without turning anything on and just focus on centering my impact on the club face. Even that's helped my game just